Hi, friends. In our time together today, I'm going to share one of my practice sessions of the Minstrel Boy, a tune I recently introduced. I'll stick a link to the video where I introduced the tune at the top and at the end of this one. Also, I'll add a link at the top of the notes to the video to the page on my website from which you could download the music and tabs if you haven't done that yet, and if you use music and tabs. This is a beautiful old tune that I've enjoyed playing. And I say that when I share a practice session, I share them at different stages of my journey into a song. It's interesting, after all, my whole channel is Scott's journey into the whistle, the low whistle. It's branching into the high whistle and will be others. But my journey in becoming a better musician, my journey in wanting to bring you along to play as well, but also my journey, your journey through each tune we learn, through the different skills we're trying to develop. And so think about it that way, please. Little aside, little helpful aside. Think about you're playing as a journey. Each tune is a journey to decide how you feel about that tune. So the Minstrel Boy, for example, I'm fairly far along in my practice on this one. One of our friends recently said in the comment to a video, often the most beautiful tunes are some of the most simple. And the Minstrel Boy is very simple tune. And you will love playing it, but it's just hauntingly beautiful. And so I've been thinking, because I've been reading the lyrics, primarily the first two verses, because as far as we know, they may be the older verses. I found nothing verifiable. But it's a heartfelt story. And so, but it's also a defiant story. So I'm going to play it through today. And I may or may not stop and chat because, this is real live. I'm sitting here, I'm going to play it. But I've practiced it some. And I'm going to play it on my Howard Low D with the balanced head. In the more thoughtful, heartfelt, and yet still a bit of an edge to it, because the tune is about a young boy entering battle who dies there. That is heartfelt. And yet he is fighting for freedom, for his family, for his people, for his country, for his music. He's fighting in response to them killing his father. So there's a defiance here as well. So somewhere in between, I'm going to do two versions, and somewhere in between there, I think it exists. In how I want to play it. So I'm going to lean heartfelt on the Howard. And I'll put a link to where you could get the Howard. Two links, actually. And I'm going to also play it through on the Carbony High D standard bore. And that's the version where I'm going to play it a little more defiantly. And depending upon how I feel after that, I may attempt to combine the two. It all depends. I might, as I play it, I might combine the two as I'm playing it on my Howard. So we'll see. So I'm going to play through that now. It's also, I believe, more important for you to see my hands as I'm playing than my face. So it's easy to do that, to see both. Like you care, right? When I'm playing a high D, but on the low D, I like to stand so you can watch my hands to see what I'm doing. There'll be no real surprises, but you might want to go, oh, he did that there. I don't know if I do that, but yeah, that was a good idea. So I want you to be able to see that. So I'll stand. I'm going to play through the Minstrel Boy on my Howard Low D, and we'll see how it goes. This is the heartfelt with some defiant phrasing. How's that? Maybe that's what I'll do. All right, yeah. I'm not sure I'm happy with the ending there. I shouldn't have just used the F sharp bounce some. I probably should have done something else. Something like that may work. I don't know. I'm going to experiment with it more, but that's kind of what I'm feeling there. And I added in a little bit of some defiant phrasing, but for the most part, that was a more thoughtful version. I said when I introduced the turn that I've heard some people play it more as a very expressive air, but I've since then listened to so many people singing it that I'm really trying to replicate that. So now, and interestingly, set my Howard down. Interestingly, as I hear people singing it, some are singing it in that very thoughtful way, and some are singing it in a very defiant way. So it's interesting, and I like to work on combining the two. But anyway, I'm going to lean more defiant, playing it on the Carbony. And interestingly, this is a good example why, I hate to say it, you often are going to want more than one whistle. You see, because the tones of the Howard with the balanced head are softer. Now, I could have gone to the reed head on the Howard and been sharper on the tone, but there's a difference between the sharpness of tone on a high D, most high Ds, as compared to a low D. The low D is a lot more of a mellow instrument, which is why I felt like that the low D leaned toward the thoughtful phrasing. So anyway, sometimes I'll sit and try different instruments to see which one expresses a tune the way I want. I'm not saying you should buy multiple whistles, but anyway, the Minstrel Boy on the Carbony high D. Slightly different expression. I like that ending a little better. I took a step down from the A, F sharp, E. And then kind of did a few notes about it. Really almost a modified crayon. You can make it a roll. So anyway, that's my run through. This is not so much a, gee, I'm not sure what I want to do. It's in this video, I want to say, you could do this tune a couple of different ways. You could do it a number of different ways, varying from the range of, grab my Howard again, from very heartfelt you could do that up to the defiant, and then experiment with all the ranges in between. You could tell that when I was playing it in between those two extremes, but leaning more thoughtful on the Howard, leaning more defiant on the Carbony. What do you want to do with this tune? How do you like to play it? My friends, I hope this has been encouraging to you to see some of the different ways you could play the Minstrel Boy. Enjoy this tune, dive into it, take the journey of learning it better. And if you're brand new, please join our great community by subscribing. I'd appreciate it if you'd like the video, and I'd love to hear your comments on this fun tune. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, my friends.